What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the Race Spec F1 Esports F2 Pacific Series Season number 2 here. We're here for round number 8 here at the Hungary ring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're just about to set off now for our one-shot qualifying lap here, as I think we're mucking around in the menu or something, and that was a bit awkward to start the lap here, but we're going to see what we can do here around Hungary. Now, Hungary, I have had a bit of experience in a Formula 2 car over on the other platform, mainly. So I don't know whether that's a good basis guide or not, but we'll see what it goes like. And you'll probably remember back then, we've lost one in Tay Lunacy. He's retired already. You remember probably, if you remember back then, to the Red Line Racing League in the F2 there, I was quite known for doing a few dive bombs through there, being a bit like Danny Rick, per se. But anyway, first sector, 31.327. Wasn't overly too bad here, as we just run it out a little bit too wide coming through turn 5 there. But as we cut through turn 6, we invalidate, and unfortunately that was our lap time done and dusted. And after that I was pretty furious with myself, so I just decided to slam it into the wall. And
engine off,
yeah.
Engine off.
That was pretty much the qualifying done and done for myself there. Was not overly thrilled about getting a corner cut coming through turn 6, but hey-ho, obviously that is the way we go, unfortunately. So we're going to be starting way at the back here. So Zach Crichton gets pole position with a 128.461, I should say. My teammate actually did pretty well here, ended up in P9, and we weren't the only ones that had a shocking qualifying. T. Lunacy, obviously no time, and a couple of others, Alex and Kickbutt Kiwi, also got disqualified through that session. But get to this feature race. Interesting start. It's going to be a wet start, but then it'll dry up later on in the race. So, and of course, if you're new to Formula 2 car, or if you have not seen Formula 2 cars before, they don't have intermediate tyres. They only have wet tyres. So basically, we're going to have to pretty much suffer the first, however long it'll be for the wet period, to see how we go until to get onto the dries. Probably more likely the medium tyres will set off on the formation lap. Here's the championship standings.
To temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
All right, so you can probably see the championship standings on your screen. Thank you, Jeff, as always. It's 22 points between Toddy and Spilly there for the top two positions at the moment. 47 points it is with the constructors between, I think it was the Salva Junior team by Charu, and the other one I can't think off the top of my head. I think it might have been you and I, Virtuosi, maybe, or even Trident, I can't remember. As Proximity Ross there has a moment on the formation lap coming through, where was this, turn 10? Between turns 10 and 11 there, so he's off to a flying start there. So another guy has been caught out in the wet weathers already. So we have had a few bit of wets running so far in Formula 2, so just need to see how we go. Probably have to think back to, did we do great? No, we didn't do Great Britain. Austria was probably the last time anyway. So here we go. We're all set for round 8 here at Hungary 5. Red lights. Let's do it around the Hungary ring, and it's very cautiously start there, but we actually get a flyer there on Proximity Ross there. Gold Gloves doesn't quite get away well. We're actually got a pretty good flyer here. We've made 3. There's James Cruz, who had a decent qualifying there up into 12th. We're going to stick it in the middle here, trying to avoid all the action through here. As there's been contact, we have to take the long way round. I think James got spun out. I don't know who that was. We get a warning for a collision there with Alex. And we also get an illegal overtake on James Cruz there, as there's Toddy there that was, had a red X on my point of view there. But we had to obviously heat the spot there to back to James Cruz. There's already stuff going on here, and it is wet already here, so we have to take it nice and cautiously here. We have to literally try and make our way back through the pack here. We're back down in, last place, really. So it's a work in progress through here, as Alex goes very, very wide there in the Campos car. So there's a car off already, as that's iconic Hugh in the Dams car that's already had an off already. So there's, actually, I'll make that 2 position there, because BK, I think it was the other one, and I think they might have had a coming together there, as we've made up 2 spots, as we're going to make it in the 3rd. I think James Cruz has actually shortcutted the chicane there at turn 6 and 7. We go around the outside. Have to use every single bit of road there, but I think we get the move done. Yes, we should. James is right up our rear end there, so we might not have it fully done yet, but I think we'll have it done now, as Alex has a moment coming through to turn 10, 11 there, Proximity Ross did on the formation lap. But someone getting very, very sideways there. Was who was that? That was Gold Gloves. By the look of it there in the Trident. As James, I think, just goes for a big move there on Alex and doesn't quite work out. They've taken both of them out.
Forecast is 5 or 10 more minutes of rain before it dries up.
Okay, so that's just getting an update already at the end of lap 1 now onto lap 2 as both the BWT cars are battling away there for position. As somebody's off as my teammate. He's had it off there coming out of turn 1. Quite easily if you get on the power too early as Toddy leaves the session. He was having a few internet issues this race. Not entirely sure what the go is there. His internet, I think, was playing up big time there. I just might have answered my own question there. But anyway, up at the 14th place is Gold Gloves getting very sideways out of the chicane there. But yeah, like I was saying, if you get on the power just too early there, and you'll easily just lose the back end of the car. And possibly what's occurred there with my teammate there is Lunacy there going very wide there. Gold Gloves will take full advantage here. We're trying to go up the inside here of Proximity Ross here. But we're not quite close enough here as we're just going to play it nice and cautiously through here as Zach now sets the fastest lap of the race currently. But like Jeff said, there's not only probably a few more minutes left until the rain actually subsides for the time being. But then the question mark is, what tyres do you go on? I think the obvious option would be the medium compounded tyres here. As looking at the back here of Proximity Ross as we go for I wasn't technically going for the move there, but the last minute I had to because I think he braked a little bit earlier than what I hoped in it. But we get the move done somehow. We're up into P13. Now let's see if we can try and get his teammate here, Tay Lunacy here, as there's Toddy's disconnected car. Go for a move up the inside there, trying to get the power down, but it's quite, like I said, it's quite difficult getting on the power on these cars as again Toddy leaves the session, so his internet's really playing up this race. I think it's rectified for the next one. He did rejoin back.
We'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
As Jeff saying that it'll dry sooner as we go through the ghost car there of Toddy. As Gold Gloves goes for a spin through the chicane. If you get on the curbs, if you go wrongly on the curbs through there, you'll easily lose the car. The machine knows what happened there to Gold Gloves. We're now right on the back here of Tay Lunacy. He has a terrible run there, but we have a much, much better drive out of the corner there, and we should get P10. If we can slow the car down, we sort of do, to turn 11. He'll try and do the crisscross here, but we got the much better inside line here, and probably a bit more wet to track there as send it up the inside and have to go all the way back to first gear there as we get a little bit sideways there. Not sure we did get a little bit of contact or not, but we should have this move done. I think he tried to go for a crisscross up the inside there, but we shift the gears up early there and we get position 10. So now we've got a bit of work to do here to catch up to the next group, which is Dr. Dre, but that won't help our cause there as we go sideways into turn 1. Nearly got actually hit up the rear end.
Probably get away with intermediate tyres now. You're going to find it harder and harder to keep the wets cool from here, but the inter should be easier.
Jeff, I don't know what you're on, but I think that needs to be fixed for the next game because the F2 cars don't have the wets.
They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them.
Like I said, Jeff, the Formula 2 cars only have wets. They don't have intermediate tyres.
Strategy is available on the MFD.
So we cut to lap 5 now, and I've got to mention Lunacy nearly slammed up the rear end there as we're already getting a strategy change there to change onto the soft compounded tyres as Iconic Hughes left the session. So not sure. I don't know why people leave the session after the feature race, considering there's another race to go here. So it's lap 5 here, and the track was starting to dry out here. I thought, you know what, let's try and take a bit of a gamble here. We've been sort of caught out a little bit at times where it's not been the right time to go onto the dries, but I might take a bit of an early gamble here. Let's see if it sort of pays off here as we also comes in is Dr. Dre there in the Prema. He's also in, so we gain a lot of time coming into the lane there as well. So hopefully we may try for a bit of an undercut on a few guys who are still sticking it out here on the wet compounded tyres. So there's Dre's pit stop there. We're not far in front of him. There's off the wets go, and we're going to go the medium compounded tyres, just like Dre is doing as well. So we get held a little bit there because of obviously Dre going by, and we settle back into, it was P13. I thought we was actually going to lose a few more spots there. But now's the case is just, you've got to be very, very cautious here on these dry compounded tyres. You have to just literally, what's the wording I'm trying to think of? Just literally just be very cautious here because it's just literally like ice on these tyres As we come through into turn 2, here Dre goes very wide. We go wide as well, but we end up a little bit worse for wear there. And we go for a little half spin there, and that loses a bit of time to Dr. Dre there in front there. So we're going to have to take it nice and cautiously. As Toddy again rejoins the session. He was having massive issues with his internet. All right, let's have a look at the replays at the start there with Crossy, who's starting on the second, from second on the grid there. Zach gets a pretty nice start away there. And Crossy managed to hang on. There's Plebs on the inside there, obviously with the outside line here into turn 1. Crossy's a little think about it with Zach there into turn 1. And again, it's just so easy to... Oh, Plebs getting very, very sideways there. It manages to avoid any chaos through there as Zach goes wide into turn 2. Crossy has a look up the inside. Can he try go for the outside move? No, he won't. I don't think so. I think Crossy tried to, but... go for the next move at the next corner, turn 4, but not quite close enough here. All right, let's have a look on board with Plebs, see how his start was. That's the gaming way for on the left-hand side there. I think he got a little bit sideways there. Actually lost out quite a bit of time there to Wafer. So like I said, Plebs going right around the outside here. So what happens here? I think there's a little bit of contact there going into the turn 1. But what happens through here? Oh, he just gets on the power just a bit too early there and just loses all momentum here. Well, actually, he loses a spot here. He will to Spilly. Have to go around the outside. Schmitty comes out of nowhere. Don't think that was an intentional dive there, but he somehow made it work. But Plebs in the end got the move back and gets himself back over to P4. I hate to think what the party chat will be like if those two are in the party together, but all Plebs again struggling through the chicane, has to take the shortcut. Doesn't get a warning for it, so you can get away with it sometimes anyway, but we'll look at the replay again from our point of view. So, like I said, we got a ripper start there. I think the other one we got was my teammate. No, sorry, there might have been somebody else there. My teammate was right in front of me. I'm an idiot. Anyway, but it's sort of been squeezed a little bit. I think James got a little bit of contact there from a teammate. And maybe Dr. Dre as well. It was getting squeezed a little bit into turn 1. We obviously had to take the long way round. Got the move done, but unfortunately, that was a very scary moment there. Thankfully, Toddy did ghost through there with his Red X car. Sometimes it's not the case, but thankfully ghosting is on. But like I said, we had to heat the spot there, or seat the spot to James Cruz, obviously. And so I did lose a little bit of front wing there, I did notice as well. So hard to tell who that was. As here we go again. Ooh, a little bit of sideways again from Plebs. I don't know whether there was contact, but there's Schmitty. Oh, there is more contact. I spoke too soon there. Schmitty does get the move up into P4 now. But back we go to Crossy. This is the lap later. Zach's really on a bit of on the run here. He's gapped Crossy quite a bit here, but someone who's been on the move as well is Spilly there. There he is on the right-hand side there in the Trident. Who gets the better traction out of here? These two are side by side here, going out into turn 2. Who wants to win this battle? If Spilly can hang it around the outside, he'll have the inside line for the next corner, but Crossy won't want to heat the spot here, seed the spot. I keep forgetting what the right wording is, but gets the move. But now Spilly had the much better run here, going down to turn 4. Who yields? It has to be Crossy that yields in the end, but he's not done with yet. Trying to come back at him through into turn 5, but again, not quite close enough here. It's not really a passing manoeuvre as well, going into the chicane. See, sometimes, not always. It's here we go back with these two. Okay, I don't want to know what is going on in front there. Don't know what Plebs' reaction to that was, seeing all the cars going literally all over on top of each other, and yeah, again, it's still happening. I think it's both the Sauber boys having a few of those moments. Yeah, it is Crossy and Schmitty, so they certainly work in tandem there. I don't know what is going on with those boys. But anyway, back to ourselves here. We're still struggling our way through the circuit here. We run wide as SD Big Chick has left the session. I can't remember if it's Big Chich or Big Chick. I can't remember. Apologies if I got the game tag wrong there, but my teammate you saw then obviously come into the lane. There's a couple of others as well that have come in and taken advantage here. One of those is Crossy, as well as Stone Towel and Alex. As he has a little bit of a moment, I think, coming out onto the front. It actually was a little bit weird that Crossy was quite the way down there, because I think he was battling away for the lead of the race, if I'm not mistaken. There's yellow flags ahead. Not entirely sure what that was for. As Crossy leaves the session. Okay, so we're trying to slowly catch back up to Dr. Dre there. We're slowly but surely bringing it back up a little bit there as oh no, Spilly, no, Crossy's got a 5-second penalty, but he gets a little bit caught up. Yep, okay. Apparently his team don't want to service him. We're going to speed it up here a little bit here because you'll see, I don't know, this seems to be a glitch, obviously, because you see other guys have actually come in doing the pit stops and he's losing time. So like I said, this is not, I don't think this is what Crossy wanted to happen here because, like I said, he was battling like the top 3 in the race. And unfortunately, I think he's had to quit the session here and actually rejoin it. Yeah, probably not the way he wanted to do it, but he had no other choice, I don't think. So back to us as we onto lap 7 here as Dre as we actually shortcut the chicane as well. He's trying to get past, it's one of the BWT cars as Crossy's now rejoined, so hopefully it's rectified him. I don't know whether they would have done the pit stops. We do a little bit of a drift, taking a drift going through turn 13, the penultimate corner here. You see Toddy behind is actually closing us in here. He's still on the wet tyres as well, because I don't think it's actually been enabled DRS, as Alex is now retired in the pit lane, as Dre has a shocking run. I think he lost the spot there. He tried to move on Proximity Ross. We tried to get a better run here, but in actual fact, Toddy's got a much better run there on the wets. And he gets up the inside, but Dre goes very, very wide. We have a look up the inside here. We might be going side by side. DRS is now enabled, so it took 8 laps before the DRS got enabled here, but we couldn't quite get the move done on Dr. Dre there, unfortunately. But here's Crossy back in. Okay, so the team didn't actually do the pit stop, so he's had to come back in a lap later. And now the team will actually want to do the pit stop, and now he's on the medium compounded tyre, so Crossy be fuming.
Understood, stopping this lap.
At that stage, we'll get an update.
Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 2 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:50.6.
Just checking an update there on Dr. Dre, who's got no penalties at this stage. This track is sort of, yeah, you can sort of get penalties at some parts of the circuit, but not at the moment. As Plebs now comes in off the weights and onto the medium compounded tyres. He must be one of the last ones, I think, to pit for the medium compounded tyres. Actually, now speaking of, Toddy's now into the pit lane to get off the wets. So he was hoping that it'd actually stay disabled for quite a while, the DRS, but unfortunately he's had to come in now, put on the dry compounded tyres. Now here's Gold Gloves getting sideways there, and there you go. There's Crossy trying to make his way back through the field here. I don't know whether we'll get some points or not in the first race because he's up in the 16th place now, but it's usually the top 10 in this race get points. In the sprint race, it's different. As Proximity Ross does the exact same thing what he did in the formation lap.
Nice work. That brings you up the place.
Thank you, Jeff. But that wasn't ideal way to get a position there. But anyway, as we're now right onto the back end there of Dr. Dre, but this time Proximity Ross would have got front wing damage for sure.
Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
As we are starting to close in here on Dr. Dre, he runs wide. We might try and get a better drive out of this corner here. We try absolute best as we're both literally, I think, on equal here through here as we have a little look up the inside here. He runs in deep. We go back to first gear. That was probably the wrong option going through that corner there, but we are right all over the back here of Dr. Dre. And this is actually prime positioning here as well, because if you're not near to Formula 2, or if you haven't seen Formula 2 before, the top 8 will get reversed for the sprint race. So whoever finishes 8th in this race will start from reverse grid pole. So at this moment it's Dr. Dre, but I'm trying to take that away from him at the current moment as we lose the back end, and we've lost all that momentum there. We've lost all that time. We lose the spot as well to Proximity Ross, and that is not the ideal situation I wanted. We also lose another spot to Tia Lunacy as well. You can probably tell, I was literally frustrated at that one, to be honest. Let's have a look at this again on the replay. But, I don't know what it was. I just must have locked the rears. And, the car just went from me pretty much. And, I was literally not thrilled about that at all. I tried getting on the power as quickly as I could to just try and make up some time there. But you can obviously tell I lost both the spots there to both the BWT Arden cars, and yeah, that happened there, unfortunately. There's Crossy again trying to make his way back through. So he's got James here. He's just, I think, moved out of the way there into P15 now. Now, next up is, I think, my teammate. He'd actually been put down a lap, I think, as well by Zach, who that was just the leader not far up the road there. But now the comeback is pretty much on here. We've still got, what is it, lap 10 here. Coming to the end of lap 10 here, onto, it's about to start here, lap 11. So we've still got a few more laps here to try and catch up to, well, see if we can catch back up to Dr. Dre. Maybe take reverse grid pole. That was pretty much, I think, my goal for the rest of this race, as we send it up the inside here into turn 1, the Danny Ricciardo style. But go back to slot under the first gear there, and I think we've got the move done. We get a little bit sideways on the power there, but we do get the move done, as Toddy's now setting fastest lap of the race. Obviously, with the much fresher compounds, as again here, Plebs and Schmitty, he's still been at it all race, and at it again, as Schmitty now gets the move back again. I think Plebs may have the fresher rubber, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be Stevens, I'm not entirely sure, but he was ahead of, I think, both Schmitty and I think Gaming Wafer as well. But now they're sort of caught back up again as well. But we literally just had to put the foot down here, as ignore that line coming through exit of turn 4 there. We actually did the fastest middle sector. Whether that's correct or not, I'm not entirely sure. But
we're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the top.
Get an update.
The gap to the car ahead is 1.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:40.3. You're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
Was slowly but surely catching back up to the other BWT car at Proximity Ross, and it didn't take long, actually. We made up quite a bit of time, actually, as we obviously set our personal best that lap, and I think we're going to set another personal best. So we've got some speed here, obviously, again, on the medium compounded tyres. I think everybody's pretty much on the medium compounded tyres. I don't think anybody would have gone the softs. If the rain had stuck around a little bit longer, then maybe potentially more people would have gambled on the softs. But here we go. We set another personal best on that lap, and near Proximity Ross was going to defend pretty hard here going into turn 1. So we're going to have to do it the long way around here into turn 1. We try and get onto the power a bit early through here, as again Toddy sets fastest laps. He's a little bit further behind there, a couple of spots behind actually, but we go up the inside there. I think I noticed as well, Proximity Ross had some front wing damage. I think whether that was from the incident earlier on at between turns 10 and 11, I'm not entirely sure.
Gap to car in front is 5.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.9. You're closing by 0.4 per lap.
So we try now to close back in on Dr. Dre, and I think we've got a little bit more pace here at the moment here. Well, we have to really. We have to literally put the foot down here and catch up to Dre as best we can. And if we can keep beating his times, then we'll definitely be catching up. As there's my teammate going very wide there, and there's Crossy getting the move done for P14 in this race. So, and I think he's got a fair margin to catch back up to BK, who's next up. I think he's about a bit further up the right. He's actually coming down on the front straight there. So there you go. But the goal here was just try and set more. Well, we're going to set another personal best here on this lap here. And you see it again. I'll do this a couple of laps as well. We kept getting updates as well, just trying to see whether Dr. Dre, on the pace of Dr. Dre, but more so penalties-wise, just in case he'd get a penalty late in the race. That was pretty much all my hope. It was pinning on at this point, as those got a little bit sideways there coming through turn 11. It's quite easily doable. So again, we set another personal best, but back we go to this battle here again. This is the battle for the podium, as Plez will go around the outside here into turn 1. He's still going side by side. Plebs is carrying on, but he doesn't quite have it at the moment. Now he's got the DRS here. He'll probably have to try it again here as I think about it. Not quite close enough here. And also Gaming Wafer is actually closing in here with these two battling pretty hard. The top two, I think, have started to pull away a little bit, that being Zach and Spilly. But good on to my teammate. That's the fastest lap of the race. Really had no other choice. I think his race has been pretty horrible. This one, but again, we set another personal best that lap onto lap 17 we go. The gap did start to close down a little bit as well.
Gap on the car behind by around a second a lap.
I think it's under 3 seconds now. So, like I said, just in case Dr. Dre copped a penalty later in the race, we'd be in prime position here. seconds. I think we set another personal best there on the lap 18 as well. But back we go a bit further up to the front there. As I think Gaming Wafers had a little look up the inside there into the final corner as they begin their final lap here. As Schmidt's actually started to pull away here, but he's still got the DRS. He's Plevs. He'll be looking out for a bit of a dive bomb here, but the inside of Wafer, there is contact. And I think it's ended badly for Gaming Wafer. He's actually has spun out himself there. Well, partly because of the contact into Plevs there, and yeah, fortunately, it's the way it was there. Again, we set another personal best lap time there, but you can just see Dr. Dre was just in the foreground there. You know, I was just literally hoping and praying that Dre was going to get another, a time penalty this race. Just literally just giving it my absolute all here. The race has already been won, I think, by Zach, but that pretty much comprehended my race there, unfortunately, as we can pick up a 3-second time penalty.
Go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
I knew I was on the bubble there with getting close to a time penalty, but that pretty much summed up the race there. So unfortunately, we're going to miss out on a reverse grid pole here by literally, well, besides the 3-second time penalty, but it is literally nothing. Had I not got that spin earlier on back on like lap 10, we probably would have been in prime position for that reverse grid pole. Toddy did close up in the end. He was in the top 10, but we're going to finish up here in P9 here, and I think we'll maintain it. We slammed it into the wall there because, well, yeah, you can tell, not happy at the end of that race anyway. So, hey, we'll move on to the next race and see if we can get some points at the bottom half of the points for this race for the next one anyway. So, there's the podium. So, like I said, Zach took the race victory in the Carlin. His first race back in probably a couple, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was busy with university work. So, great to see he's back on pace at the moment. So, he'll be starting from P8 in the next one. So, Zach, Spilly, and Schmitty ran out 1, 2, and 3. Plebs in 4th. Gaming Wafer in 5th. Kick Butt Kiwi, good job in 6th. Pure Gold in 7th, and Dr. Dre will get reverse grid pole in P8. We finish in 9th. We get a couple of points, so it's not all too bad. And Lunacy rounds out your top 10. Toddy P11 and Proximity Ross, and then all the way down to Alex. And Iconic Hugh actually got disqualified there, so missed that one. But anyway, much better conditions here for the sprint race here. Much finer conditions here. There is a little bit of cloud cover for later in the race, but it's pretty simple. The no stop around here on the harder compounded tyres being the mediums, and we'll see how we go here for the sprint race as we set off for the formation lap yet again.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice start. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want to bog down.
Thank you, Jeff. As always, pretty much I think the goal here is, well, we've already got 2 points this race. Would have liked reverse grid pole because we would have had a clear run going down into turn 1. But anyway, so Gaming Wafer is already spun around there on the formation lap. Funny, I know that feeling pretty well, unfortunately. So let's just see what happens here. I think Plebs is pretty close to him here. Oh, he does it himself. I think he's got on the power a little bit too early there. Thankfully, this is only the formation lap. Here's the back aboard here with James Cruz. Oh, wow, that was pretty close there. Rejoin. There's I think Iconic Hugh and Wafer actually made contact. Yep, that is true because they've now obviously got themselves disqualified for the formation lap. So they're going to be stuck on cold tyres for the race start here. So you probably expect them to drop away. Well, not have the greatest of starts compared to everybody else who's done much warmer tyres, I should say. But we're here in P9. Let's see if we can get some more points here at the Hungary ring as we just wait for everybody to ready up. There we go. So here we go for the sprint race here at Hungary. 5 red lights. Longer hole, but let's do it around the Hungary ring again as we again get a nice start off the line there. Zach doesn't quite have a good start either, but he's still alongside us there. Gaming Wafer, not too bad of a start actually as we go down the turn. Well, we take the much wider line through here. Hopefully that we don't get caught up in any contact there as we go very wide. We did the same as Plebs, although he went wider than myself, but we're back into actually P10 here because actually Toddy got a really good start there. Obviously he started P11 as we're right at the back end. Oh, sorry, I should say right at my rear end was Tanya Lunacy. I think it may have got contact there going into turn 2. I can't remember off the top of my head, but There's all green. There's already yellow flags at the back, so there's already been contact. There's Spilly, who's he obviously started finished P2 but started P7 obviously, and Toddy's got a move done already up into 6th place I think from memory. So not a bad start from the UNI Virtuosi man there. So Toddy seems to be pretty, like I said, he's pretty much a gun in the F2 cars, and he will make a comeback after what occurred in the first race. Well, especially with his internet dramas, of course, but we had a little moment coming through turn 11. Quite easily can lose the car coming through there, but anyway, lap 1 is completed in the books. Dr. Dre, I think, still leads the way at the moment, as we're trying to get the slipstream here as best we can in the back of Zach there in the Carlin, as there's the battles going on ahead with, I think, Plevs and, don't tell me Schmitty, him again are at each other's throats here. Going down to turn 2, we'll have to look at the foreground. You can see it's all happening here. Might actually be happening again between those two. Here comes Toddy around the outside. This is great battling through here. I think Toddy's trying to do the crisscross going down into turn 4. There's someone else is going side by side through here. I think it might be Spilly there, actually. It is actually Spilly. We'll get the move on Plevs again. There's more yellow flags in the background. So we're avoiding all the chaos so far. Now we're just trying to close up here on the back of Zach, who has a little bit of a moment coming through on the curb. So he probably got on the power just a little bit too early here as we take track limits to another level there at, again, turn 11. As we have a little sideways over there. I was actually worryful that I was going to lose the spot. I don't think that's actually a word, but I don't care. It's Zach, I think, had another moment coming off the final corner there and nearly slanted into the wall, but actually started to pull away here, these guys in front, but we're not done with I think Zach had a look on the inside of Plevs as Stink, Spilly and Toddy reigniting their battles that they've had in the past as we pick up our, actually that's our second track limits warning of the race. I didn't actually show my first track limits warning. Well, there's probably no point here because I don't usually show track limits warnings too much. Let's go side by side here. That's Kick Butt Kiwi, actually. I'll take that back. I think Toddy's a little bit further up the road there. But Kick Butt Kiwi's, I think, been spun around there a little bit there. It might have been from Spilly's car, if I'm not mistaken. As Zach's trying to put pressure here on Plevs for position 7 here, as we do a stupid car to cut there and pick up a 3-second time penalty. So that's definitely not going to help our cause here, especially if we're sort of in a close proximity like this. But someone is actually trying to make a move up from the back as well as Crossy. He's now set the fastest lap of the race. Zach and Plevs going side by side yet again. I think Plevs will have the much better drive here. Then I've got the DRS. Now trying to close back up here to these guys. If these guys can just continue battling here, we might be in a prime position here as BK is retired from the sprint race, I should say. I'll get my races right in a minute. We've set up on the personal best on that lap, and again, Crossy setting fastest lap, so he's got the speed here in the dry conditions here as there's battles going on in front there. I think that's Dr. Dre who's starting to fall away. Obviously, like I said, did start from reverse grid pole, but he's really starting to drop away there. I think he's lost a spot there to Spilly. My teammate's actually in the lane there as I think he's been caught up in a little bit of dramas there. As we're still closing up here, by Iconic Hughes now retired from the session, and my teammate as well. So they must have had a little bit of coming together there, and they've obviously now had a few issues along the way. But Iconic Hughes did rejoin there, so it must have been some issues or something with either his internet or the lobby. I'm not entirely sure. But look at this battle here. It's just starting to brew here in front with these guys. So Zach has a look up the inside here of Plevs. And he's got Plevs' teammate, Dr. Dre, in the foreground as well. So, like I said, this is good. I'll be in a pretty prime position. If something were to happen with these guys, probably it would be a long shot. But as Plevs sends up the inside there on Dr. Dre, he doesn't put up much of a fuss through there. As we're trying to follow these two through here. I think Zach's going to get the move as well. We're going to have a look here up the inside. Maybe not try our dive bombs like we did on the Xbox, but we'll do something pretty similar here as we try to get on the power as best we can here with Dre. We reignite our battle that we did in the first race. And again, we are battling for P8 and 9, except this time this is actually for the final points paying position here. So it's literally just weaving around here, just try to put him off here as best I can. So Plevs really starting to pull away as well as Zach. So I'm just going to try get past Dre as quickly as I could and don't lose touch with those guys in front there. Oh, Dre gets a little bit sideways off the corner there, so that won't help his run coming out into the slow parts through here into turn 9. Now let's see if we can maybe try and line him up here through turn 11 as we get the curb and we've gone.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
And that pretty much sums up our race. Fortunately there, because of that, that pretty much ruins getting a points paying position here as literally just trying to get it on the foul or shift it up a little sort of gears. There's a look on the replay here. I think I maybe took a little bit too much curb there when I was doing the turn in there, and unfortunately it spun in the car, and that was pretty much my race, unfortunately, there as we literally just crawl our way back into the pit lane here. So yeah, it's not been the greatest race at all, and yeah, from nearly getting reverse grid pole and bottling it to now that. So I was just furious with myself there, so I pretty much called time on the race there for myself. So anyway, we'll look at the replays from the start here, so I have to wind back a little bit there as on board we go with Plebs as Kick Butt Kiwi tries to go to the middle, as I think that might have been Schmitty again. Would not be surprised at all. It tries to go around the outside, a little bit squeezed there by Kick Butt Kiwi. We might have someone else on the inside there. So he gets a warning there for his troubles. That might have been gaming way. First Schmitty comes to crate across down into turn 2. Nearly 4 wide at one point there going into turn 2. There's Kick Butt Kiwi back up into, I think, what's that, P4. And Schmitty up into 5th place. There's Toddy. Like I said, he got a ripper start off the line there. He's up back aboard here with James. First time I think we've seen him for this round. So gets a decent jump on the lineups, but off the lineups, my teammate there, as well as there's Crossy. Let's see what happens here in the turn 1. Goes for a big dive bomb up the middle. He makes contact with BK. That didn't end badly. Gets a warning for his troubles. No surprise there. Just pretty much just slams into the back of BK as we go down to turn 4. Okay, so that might explain what happened there. I did get a touch, actually. That was from James. Obviously, I don't know what was going on there. He didn't have the right brake bars or just didn't brake. I don't know. But anyway, James sends it up the inside here into turn 4. It doesn't quite work out. Loses the back end and manages to just get away with it there. As now there's Proximity Ross, who's not at the greatest of starts by the looks of it, as he goes for another move, but he doesn't. The brake pedal is obviously not working in the Carlin car, unfortunately. As he's now back up into, loses spots now, back into 17th place. Might actually lose another spot here to my teammate. There he goes. So there he goes back into P18 now for James Cruz. My, oh my, some dive bombs. Anyway, let's go back aboard with Crossy. See how the start was for him. Not great. BK actually got a pretty good start off the line there. So he tried to cover the inside line there from my teammate. As there comes James up the inside. You'll see him steam up in through the middle and then cut the contact of BK. Then he gets squeezed there a little bit. There's Crossy from Iconic Hugh and probably my teammate. It is my teammate, I think, on the right-hand side there. And now trying to go around the outside. Nearly slams into the back of, I think that's Proximity Ross. It was. So I think there's 3 wide through here. That's not ideal. Oh, there's... okay, don't know what happened through there. Whether that was contact or whether it was just like a ghost contact there. It looked like Crossy was nowhere near my teammate. But I think that was my teammate. Who got partially spun around. But yeah, really unfortunate there for Towel, unfortunately. So anyway, the Stone Towel. Anyway, back we go to Plebs, who goes for a move up the inside, late one on Schmitty. So these two have literally been in it both races. So again, I think Plebs will have the move done here, and here comes Toddy. Schmitty will have to send it up the inside here. Again, there's more contact between these two. These guys make contact again, and Toddy will take full advantage of this, and it's sort of, that doesn't have the greatest of runs there. Toddy will get the move as well. Here comes Spilly around the outside, so he's lost 2 spots in one go. Spilly goes literally every single bit of track limits there. Can he hang it around the outside? No, not quite. And then there's the battle with Zach behind as well. So see what happens in the foreground. Oh, okay. BK has had a moment coming through there. So that would probably explain what that yellow flag was for. not sure whether he come into contact with another driver or not, as goes up to the back there of Gold Gloves. He's already had a spin at the chicane there. But let's see what happens through here. Oh, gets a much better run coming through turn 10. Might make a move. He does into turn 11. Nice move there for Crossy. So he's trying to make a comeback again in this race. As he tried to make a move on the proximity Ross here. Get a much better drive out of here. He will. Look at that. Much better run out of there. So, and Crossy goes up into P13 now. Next up is Tay Lunacy in the other BWC car. Righto, back we go to the leaders. Sort of the top, the P8 here. There's Toddy going up his inside of Kick Butt Kiwi. His teammate nearly has a moment. It nearly slams into Spilly there. Would have been a nice couple of positions there. Would have taken, but no, these two are going to go side by side here. Zach has a little look up the inside, not quite close enough, I don't think. Now side by side through here. Kick Butt Kiwi. There's every single bit of road there. Don't think either of them wants to give up position here. Going to try and hang on to it here as Spilly has to be pushed wide a little bit there. Might have been a little bit of contact from Kick Butt Kiwi. Let's see what happens coming through here. This is probably the moment where he gets spin here. Does a move up the inside and then he goes into the side of Spilly there. Don't think it's much of a move there at all there, but both players and Zach had to take avoiding going through the chicane there. As there goes Crossy up the inside of Lunacy. That is up to P12 now for him. So he's on pretty much a charge, was Crossy. And this was obviously him getting P11, I think, from Kick Butt Kiwi. Yes, it was. So that's now to P11. Next up is Iconic Hugh there in the dams. Let's see if he can get a move. Oh, no, he might not get the move done. He might have given it easy for him there. And thankfully, it wasn't any contact there from Iconic Hugh into, we couldn't nearly, thankfully there was no, not slamming into the side of Crossy there. That would have ended badly, unfortunately, but this is Spilly going around the outside, or turned to the inside for turn 2 on Dr. Dre. So like I said, he was starting to drop away a little bit, started from reverse grip pole, and then we'll see this battle here from Plebs. So there's a little think about up the inside there. Got a little bit of the curb there as well, but then I think Dre gets a little bit of the curb on the exit there. And then I think Plebs trying to do the crisscross there. Here's Zach up the inside. And then both of us should get the DRS. Dre won't have any DRS because he's obviously not in the 1 second bracket to Spilly in front there. So that should be an easy move for Plebs up the inside. I think it was pretty simple there, and then Zach pretty much followed him there, and see right up his gearbox there was Zach. Let's see, did Zach go for a move? He did. He did lock up the brakes a little bit there. And I think Plebs will have it because of the next line here coming through into turn 3. Does Zach have a run? He's got a run here. Does he think about it going into turn 4? No, he doesn't. He backs out of it. So good, nice call, good call there from Zach there. But this is probably my moment. There we go. So there's a nice easy spot there for Crossy. So he got up into P9. And now we'll see what occurs here with pretty much the rest of the race here. As here goes Zach up the inside here of Plebs, and he gets in now. He will. He tries to crisscross, but does have DRS. So Zach should have the momentum here going down to turn 2. Nearly said turn 3 for a second there. It's at Austria, where turn 2 is not a corner, but yeah, Zach does get the move. So up to the 6th place he goes, and Plebs back into P7. As Zach going, using every single bit of track extension. Nearly slams into the wall. He could have a heart-in-mouth moment there. There's for sure there. But I stuck around for the final few laps to see what was going on here. And Toddy has a little late look up the inside there of Schmitty. It doesn't quite pay off for him there as manages to hang on in front of Spilly as well. Zach has another moment coming through. What was that? Through exit of turn 9 there. He's crossing, have a look up the inside here at the chicane, but Dre goes in deep and has to shortcut it, and I think he's going to seat the spot there to Crossy. So Crossy gets into the final points paying position in 8th place. But let's just see what's going on through here. As there's a little bit of contact there. No, sorry, that was actually a bit of lag there on my point of view, unfortunately. But Toddy's going for a move up the inside, and again, pretty similar to what happened with his teammate. And Toddy ends up losing spots. He might have lost, how many spots is that? That's 4 spots I think he's lost. So he's back down into the last points paying position there. So that wasn't ideal there for Toddy. There's what's going on here? Someone's in the dirt. No, Spilly's around his contact, I think, with Plebs. Oh, nearly slams into the back there of, I think that was Crossy there. Actually resets himself to the track. I don't think you're allowed to do that, but anyway, we won't go into that one. But let's see what happens here. Spilly, he gets the curve and just hits the wall there, and Zach finishes him off. Pretty much that was just innocent error there, I think. And yeah, I mean, nothing much I don't think Zach could have done there, as Plebs has to take avoiding action. Didn't get any damage from all of that. Surprising, I don't think anybody got damage from that, even though it looked like it on my point of view. How close was this? Pretty close there between Spilly and Crossy. But thankfully, no harm done. And Crossy gets himself up into, well, 6th place, but probably won't be for too much longer because Toddy is trying to make his way back through the field. Goes up the inside, a little bit of contact there. I think Crossy was trying to do the crisscross there, but it doesn't quite work. And Toddy gets himself back up into 6th place. Now, right onto the back there of Plebs there, onto pretty much the last lap. As Spilly's again, I don't know whether this is a separate incident or whether it's not, but he's got front wing damage here, does Spilly, and he's dropping way out of the points. I don't sure how much damage he got from the original incident, but wouldn't be surprised if he's made more damage later in this race. I think there was a yellow flag, so I might have missed that, but you probably saw that Toddy made the move. Here it is, up the inside of Plebs. And a little bit of contact there, but no harm done. And Toddy does get the move done into 5th place. So not a bad recovery after having a little spin out there. But he's going to be gaming Wafer that will take the sprint race victory here. He's had a few victories so far, I think. Maybe one might have been taken away from him. But Peel Goal, we haven't seen much of him this race. He's in 2nd place, Schmitty in 3rd. And you go all the way down to, I think we'll see the top 8 in this, which will be, I think Dr. Dre will finish in the points paying position. So starts from pole, I think, and goes into P8, and Kick Butt Kiwi just slams it into the wall there. So he knows probably that a points paying position has gone begging there with that little spin there. So anyway, there's the podium. So everyone's playing champagne. Everyone's happy at ART, that is for sure. Gaming Wafer taking the victory ahead of Pure Gold, and who was it? Schmitty, I think, was that got P3 in the end. I could be wrong. That's knowing me. But anyway, we'll have a look. We'll get a nice bit of XP. We're nearing 50 in that sense there. But yeah, Gaming Wafer, Pure Gold, and Schmitty round out 1, 2, and 3. Zach finishes in P4. Toddy with the recovery up to P5. Plebs in P6. Crossy will get the extra couple of bonus points for the fastest lap in 7th place. So Dr. Dre rounds out P8. Kick Butt Kiwi in 9th, and Proximity Ross in 10th. Back down to Golkov, Spilly, Tay Lunacy, James Cruz, and then you got these guys down the bottom, Selves and the Stone Tower there. Zach gets the round victory, only just by over Schmitty, then Gaming Wafer. I think they were tied on points there. We only get the 2 points for the weekend, unfortunately. So championship-wise, it is starting to close up a little bit here. It's now 10 points now between Toddy and Schmitty there. Actually, it's an equal split there. I think Schmitty's also 10 points away as well, surprisingly, considering he scored no points in that second race there. But there's the constructor standings. It's a little bit more one-sided, with Sauber Junior team leading by 62 points over UNI Virtuosi. Dabs there in P3, ART in 4th, just ahead of Prema and Trident. And you go back to Carlin there, Campos. We got on 9th place with 13 points. We're slowly but surely closing in there on Campos there. But I think we've now up into 15th place, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we've gained a couple of spots in that race, probably because I think Bink Donga wasn't here again, and maybe a few others as well. But yeah, there we go. That was the Hungarian Grand Prix in this F2 Pacific Series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Race Spec F1 Esports content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, I'll leave the links down below to the Race Spec links, like the Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel. And I'll leave a link to the live stream as well. But yeah, till the next time, which will be the Belgium Grand Prix. First time I think I'll be racing a Formula 2 car in Belgium. It is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.